Welcome back to Panhard Garage. Today we're going to be putting the 4-inch into the VN Commodore single cab control. Before we get started, do us a favour, hit like, comment, subscribe. Getting very close to the 1,000 subscriber mark after the last video of this one. I think we're at about just under 940 now. So please, if you haven't, please hit the subscribe. It will start getting me paid one day, hopefully. Alright, hope you guys enjoy. So, for the kit, I've got an eBay special, some Webco shocks, some King Spring springs, some made up drop boxes. They got no engineering certificate, which is okay for what I want it for. I actually splashed out for some Panhard bars. I like using these on, I recommend using these on highly lifted cars, because once you start going up, your tracks start going one way and the other, and then it won't be center. So this way we can dial it in and it'll be happy days. So we'll move on and we'll start pulling apart the rear first, because that is going to be the less pain in the butt. There is one problem I can foresee, but we'll see if it makes a rises. I'll set you up on a tripod and we'll start pulling this thing apart. Alright, so here I have a problem. This thing's got a long range fuel tank in it, and it is clashing with the upper control arm. That spring's going to come out fine. That is already getting compressed. Because of it, I am going to have to try and drop this tank down, hopefully just letting off those two bolts, one there and one there. Hopefully I can get it sort of working. I actually want to replace the fuel tank with a standard tank to avoid this problem, because obviously how they get the long range is by extending that bit out this way, which they never take into account if you want to put a 4-inch lift into your car. Bit of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. Obviously that's probably not helping either. Whatever. Yeah, probably going to pull this out. It's quite stuck in there, so set you back up on the tripod. Just wanted to show you that bit. Alright, I've got that spring out, and there's the difference. Definitely going to have to drop that tank down to get this in, and probably run, which is no biggie. I can set up a couple of more brackets and make it work for now. But yeah, I'll chuck this one in, and yeah, we'll keep cracking on. have got springs in, drop down on the ground. Now we're going to chuck the shocks in. Everything's seated up nice. Plenty of clearance to the tank. That's probably where the tank's going to go. I'll just make a spacer between the brackets and call it a day. It's only an off-road hunting rig anyway, so no biggie. If I split it or do anything, I'll just get something else or a factory one, like I said before. Yeah, so we will chuck the shocks in, prime these up so they're ready to go. Alright, that was harder than it should have been. As you saw, had to get a ratchet strap it down to get the shock to line up. Not sure why. I'm guessing one of these mounts on that side is tweaked. Judging by the top one, could be it. So yeah, bit of a pain in the dick, but that's what else do you do? Anyway, we shall move on. We'll chuck the adjustable Panhard rod in, so we'll jack it back up on the lift, and yeah, I'll start looking at seeing what I can do to fix this tank in place. Alright, so I've got the big adjustable mamma jammer. This isn't the way I like adjustable stuff, but anyway, we will chuck it in here first. Yeah. Now, in the kit I bought, it does come with a new one of these. So I'm actually going to do the opposite. I'm going to pull it back out, stick it on there, and then we can play with it. Yeah, let's have a look. Alright. So usually I'd measure side to side, see if it is in the right position, which I probably should. Got the time. Looking about 110 mil there. And 90 mil there. So that's not good. But yeah, fully extended. So somewhere around the 100 will be good. Once we drop it down, we'll check it, and then we'll just slowly adjust it from there. It is a time-consuming job, so I'm not going to film it. you're just going to get bored. So we'll just screw this out, make it fit. Alright, closer look. Everything is installed. So, being Panhard goes this way, it will actually push the back end over that way once it settles down. Then we can take a measurement when it's on the ground and see how close we are to being center. And then, like I said, I'll adjust it off camera. You guys don't need to see that. It's just same thing. Pull that out, spin it a bit more, put it back in, resettle it, measure. Quite time consuming. If you're going to pay a shop to do this, be prepared to pay a fair bit of money because it's time. If you don't want to pay it, deal with the consequences of this thing crab walking down the road. I did have a customer that blamed us that the wheel alignment was all done wrong, yet he put these in and never corrected it. When I pointed it out, he just swore at me and drove off. Not my fault, not my problem. Joys of owning a shop, which I no longer do, and customers are the main reason why. Yeah, too easy. We'll move on to the front. Well, I'm going to sort that tank out, but I'll show you that later. Alrighty guys, so we're going to move on to the front. It's the next day. Had kidlet stuff to do, jeez. So I've already disconnected the brake lines, I've taken the sway bar off, I've set the gearbox jack up. So with this we're going to have to take out the control arms from this point here. We're also going to have to cut this off, and we're going to have to move this forward and drop the gearbox cross member down so we can fit the drop box in. So once we get to that point I'll show you that. And obviously shocks, springs and Panhard. So let's not dilly dally, let's get into it. Alright, so as you saw from the time lapse, if you bothered to watch, I got the Panhard out, got the steering dampener out. It's old and junk, so I wasn't going to stuff around with it, I just cut it out. I'll get another one. No biggie. So the problem I'm having is this wants to slip off the gearbox jack. As you probably saw, it tried to kill me, the a-hole. So I've put the shocks back in for, bolted back up for now. It's pretty much just all sitting there. The only thing that's connected is the tail shaft, which I'm probably going to disconnect it and tie it up out of the way, and then Going to lower it down, undo the top of the shocks, and then it should just roll out. Nice and easy. That's the theory anyway. Let's see if this piece of shit wants to kill me. Oh! Next we've got to put the drop box in. So I've loosened the bolts off the cross member. I was actually hoping this would relax a little bit more, but it didn't. Don't know why. Anyway, yeah, so we'll slip this in here, put the bushing in, and then yeah, I'll film that and show you what it looks like when it sits in. And then we can start jamming this thing back together. Alright, that's the drop box installed. Obviously that's where your lower control arm will slot into. So, bit of a big job, but the other alternative is to take both of them out, push the bushes out, and push in caster correcting bushes. So this will, the drop boxes will fix caster issue. So if you go and slap in 4-inch springs into a standard thing without doing caster bushes or drop boxes, good luck driving it. Also your pinion angle is going to be completely effed up, and it's going to bind. Good luck. Anyway, I'll take this out, make sure everything's tight, and then we'll drop the body down and put this pile of junk back in its place. Alright, so got that in for now. Got to the stage where I can start chucking these in. Alright, I'll set this back up on the tripod, put the springs in, put the shocks in, put the Panhard in, and we'll set it down on the ground for the first time with 4 inches of lift. Did a bunch off camera. As you can see, shockies are in, tail shaft is done up, steering rack is done up, oh, steering rod. Still got to put a split pin in that, but yeah. So we'll set you up and we'll put the Panhard rod. Get your shit together, Travis. Yeah. And then that is it. Obviously a couple other little things like steering dampener. I've got to order one of those, so we'll do that next episode. Extended brake lines, and I know everyone doesn't run sway bars with big lift. I would like to, just because. Yes, I won't get as much flex, but it's a hunting rig and a bit of a novelty item, considering we're going to need a step ladder to get into the bloody thing. Yeah, happy days. We'll move on, put the Panhard in, and then we'll roll it outside and have a look around it. I'm going to put it outside because next episode we'll be doing the cab, the wiring, the brakes, the steering, and a bunch of other stuff. Hopefully I might get 2 episodes out of it depending, but yeah. Anyway, oh, and we've got to finish off the cab mounts. The bushes have come in, I have chucked them in, so yeah, we'll finish doing them on the next episode, but we'll set you up to the Panhard rod and then finish this one off. A nifty little Panhard rod is in. Just got to tighten the jam nuts up until I get everything, align it properly. So it always pays to check the boxes before you chuck them out. A bit of a clean up before chucking the Panhard rod in. And look what I found. Braided extended brake lines. I didn't even know this kit came with it. I wasn't expecting it, that's for sure. So we're going to chuck these in as well. Alright, we've rolled it outside. Do a 360 of her. It's definitely sitting 4 inches higher. So it must have been stock suspension in the old girl. Yeah, another step closer to being done. Like I said, next episode we'll do finer bits, inside wiring, brake lines, hopefully get it running. If not, that'll be the next episode. Also want to get the bull bar, winch, and start doing spotlights. Also want to get the windscreen replaced with a big smash in it. Should have got that done before jacking it to the moon, but the local O'Brien's guys got a pretty good sense of humour, so no biggie. Yeah. Well, that's all I've got time for this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Be good or be good at it. We'll see you next time.